The adventurous story begins by showcasing a unique world where every human has their own magical animal. It is a rule that everyone must keep an animal with them that is connected to their soul. If either partner goes far from the other, both will die. Something similar happened with witches as well. They could create magical animals, and those animals could survive away from the witches. However, if either one died, the other would die too. Now, we are shown an ancient church that existed a few years ago. Many good fathers came to this church, but the current father was extremely cruel and wicked. This father would manipulate people to get what he wanted. His goal was to control all the people in the town, making them do whatever he wished. We learn about a very important device that has been around since ancient times, a golden compass. This golden compass had strange symbols engraved on it. Ancient people used this compass to predict both their future and past. All the fathers who had come to this ancient church had used the golden compass effectively. However, this cruel and wicked father did not want people to use the golden compass, as it would ruin his entire scheme. People would be able to see the future and learn what the father intended to do next. Therefore, at the father's insistence, many of his followers began to destroy the golden compass. Luckily, one copy of the golden compass remained, but no one knew where it was. Now the story shifts to the present day, where a girl named Lara was having a great time in the garden. Lara loved the open sky and the jungle. She had been an orphan since childhood, but fortunately, a wealthy businessman adopted her. The businessman spoke to Lara, saying he had to go out of town for an important meeting and couldn't leave her alone at home. So, he used his contacts to send Lara to a boarding school with other children. However, when Lara arrived there, she felt completely alone. But Lara was not afraid of the naughty children at all. One day, many students in the school were bullying a small child. Lara immediately rushed to the spot and confronted the naughty kids. She saved the small child and took him to another place, but the troublemakers continued to follow her. Lara deliberately threatened the naughty boys, saying that if anyone tried to touch her, she would recite a spell and eliminate them. She boasted that she had a magical coat that would burn them all. However, one of the naughty boys said to her, "I don't believe you at all. If there is such a magical coat, then bring it out in front of me." By then, all the naughty boys had left. Lara then took the weak child to a church, where she searched for the magical coat. But shortly after, Lara heard someone entering the church, so she quickly hid inside a cupboard. Inside the church, the city's mayor had also arrived, along with that dangerous father. The father was telling the mayor about Lara's stepfather, who was a very wealthy businessman. Despite being warned, Lara's stepfather had gone to a place where he was exploring something. Therefore, Lara's father could pose a threat to everyone. In fact, it was the father who had manipulated the mayor into taking action against Lara's father, the businessman, to kill him. The mayor then ordered that some poison be mixed into the businessman's drink, so that he would die writhing in pain right there. Lara, hidden in the cupboard, overheard all of this, and soon after, the businessman arrived. The dangerous father had already mixed some poison into a drink, intending to take the businessman's life. The father knew that a few years ago, Lara's father had made considerable efforts to find the golden compass, so he wanted to eliminate his competition completely. Without thinking, the businessman took the poison drink. However, just as he was about to drink it, Lara came rushing in and knocked it away. Lara informed her father about everything, revealing that poison had been mixed into his drink. But Lara did not recognize the mayor and the father, so she didn't have much knowledge about them. However, after the incident, the businessman had become very cautious. Now, Lara's father was presenting a very advanced machine in front of the church members, which could be used to obtain the golden compass. This machine, once activated, would search for a mist that was connected to the golden compass. If more work was done on this machine, they could potentially get their hands on the golden compass. But the father convinced everyone in the church to reject the businessman's idea, claiming that if everyone obtained the golden compass, no one would be afraid of him anymore. Lara's father, the businessman, insisted that he needed funding, but all the church members denied his request. Therefore, the businessman declared that no matter what happened, he would complete his experiment and obtain the golden compass. He was talking about going to another world, but the church members laughed at him for saying that. After that night, it was revealed that orphan children were suddenly going missing. Both the orphans and their magical animals were being kidnapped. Lara and one of her friends became very troubled by this, as some of the missing children were their friends. Lara started thinking about how to solve this problem. Now, the businessman came to Lara and informed her that he was going to continue his research and that she would have to take care of herself in his absence. Lara realized that if her father left, she would be all alone, so she requested to go with him to enjoy the adventure. But the businessman clearly stated that it was not a place for fun, as there was a risk of losing one's life. He left Lara at the school while he went off for his research. We now see a scene in the school where all the children were sitting down for dinner when a very wealthy and beautiful lady entered. The lady spoke very well with all the staff members and then approached Lara directly. The way Lara communicated impressed the lady greatly, and for this reason, Lara became the lady's favorite student. The lady was casually asking Lara if she would go to London with her, where there were many adventurous things. The lady promised to take Lara to the new world where her father had just gone. So, Lara agreed to everything the lady said. We learned that many of Lara's friends, including Jack, had been kidnapped. Now, the unknown lady had directly brought Lara to the city, where they were having a lot of fun. However, before going to London, Lara's school headmaster had given her the golden compass. The headmaster knew that everyone was now aware of the golden compass, so it was no longer safe at school. For this reason, the headmaster gave the golden compass to Lara and told her not to tell anyone about it. Lara then started exploring many places with the lady. However, Lara reminded the lady that she had promised to take her to another world, but so far, the lady had not said anything about the other world. Lara returned to her room and opened the golden compass. The needle of the compass kept pointing towards a lady, but Lara was just a child and had no idea about all these things, so she ignored the symbols. The next day, when she went to the lady, she was behaving quite strangely. Before Lara could understand anything, the other lady commanded her magical animal to attack. In fact, that lady wanted to snatch the golden compass from Lara, and all this was just part of her plan. Lara immediately ran into a chamber, where she saw some pieces of newspaper. After reading them, she discovered that this lady was part of a group that had recently been kidnapping orphan children. This meant that the lady wanted to kidnap Lara too. The wicked lady quickly came and took the golden compass from Lara, but just then, a flying bird of Lara's flew away with the golden compass. Lara started running away to save her life, but the lady's men were present there and captured her, binding her with a net. Lara felt like there was no chance of her escape. Just then, a good team of school teachers arrived at the scene, who defeated the dangerous lady's men and rescued Lara. The teacher informed Lara that their entire group had set out to save the kidnapped children. Lara insisted that she would help save her friends, so the teachers included her in the mission and took her aboard their ship. Now, Lara was presenting the golden compass in front of all the senior members. An elderly man looked at it and remarked that no one could read this golden compass because it required special people with certain abilities. Lara then stated that she had just read the golden compass a short while ago, which made everyone realize that Lara was the one capable of reading it. Everyone began to assist Lara. Using the golden compass, Lara carefully examined all the symbols that would appear in the future to determine the location of the kidnapped children. With this knowledge, their entire team set out on a large boat to that location. On the other hand, the dangerous lady sent her 2 flying little insects to keep an eye on Lara. These insects quickly reached Lara and began attacking her animal companion. The other teachers were helping Lara catch the insects. One insect was caught, but the other managed to escape. This made Lara realize that everyone was after her life. That night, while Lara was standing on the ship, a very kind witch appeared. The witch wanted to help Lara because she was very good-hearted. She informed Lara that she was on the right path, but the enemies had started experimenting on all the kidnapped children. They wanted to know if humans could survive without their magical animals, and if the experiment wasn't stopped, many orphan children would lose their lives. After learning everything, Lara began to move forward even more quickly. There was also an astrologer on the ship, and he had developed a good friendship with Lara. The astrologer was telling Lara that there was a bear on their ship. Lara wanted to meet the bear as soon as possible, so she went inside. The bear was huge and massive. Surprisingly, the bear could also talk, but it looked very sad. The bear told Lara that it had lost its armor somewhere and could not go outside without wearing it. Lara understood the bear's pain, so she set out to find the bear's armor with the help of the golden compass. She found the armor on a nearby island, and after giving it to the bear, it put it on and got ready. The bear thanked Lara, saying, "I have now become your servant. You are my little princess, and I will always protect you." Lara climbed onto the bear and went off to rescue all her kidnapped friends. Upon reaching the location, the security guards began to attack. It turned out that the master of the entire place was none other than the church's father, who had orchestrated the kidnapping of the orphan children and was experimenting on them. The bear started fighting off the soldiers while continuously protecting Lara. Lara managed to escape into a building where her friend Jack was present. Jack was in very bad shape because his magical animal had been killed, and if he didn't get another animal soon, he would die too. Lara decided to take Jack with her to the other teachers. However, on their way, some unknown people attacked Lara. The bear was busy fighting the soldiers, so unknown soldiers and some other bears captured Lara and took her to their king's palace in an icy area. All the bears were present there, and their king was sitting on the throne. It turned out that the good bear who had saved Lara was also a part of this group, but he had been separated forever. Lara was presented before the bear king, who asked her what she was doing there. Lara realized that if she didn't think quickly, they would kill her. So she replied, "I am the belly of a bear?" The king started laughing. Since bears don't have a belly, Lara was deliberately praising the good bear in front of the king. She claimed that her bear was so powerful that no one could defeat it. The bear king became very angry at this, so he challenged Lara to a fighting match with her bear. Lara was confident that her good bear had armor, which significantly increased its chances of winning. Soon, the good bear arrived at the place where it would fight the king. In no time, a fierce battle broke out between Lara's bear and the king. Both were determined to kill each other, but eventually, Lara's bear managed to wrap its arms around the king and throw him away. After the king's defeat, Lara's bear became the new king of all the bears. The bear then told Lara that they needed to go to the other world to rescue the children. After that, he set off with Lara towards the experimentation site. However, as they were climbing over the snow suddenly began to break apart. The bear told Lara, "You should get off me and move ahead because you weigh less, and you can reach easily." But cracks were starting to form in the snow, and it was about to break. Just then, Lara jumped to the other side, and immediately after, the snow bridge collapsed. Lara decided that she would go to the experimentation site alone to rescue the children. The bear wanted to help Lara in any way he could, but he was unsuccessful. When Lara reached the experimental laboratory, all the doctors were very happy to see her because the children were coming to her themselves. Lara was then taken to the chamber where the other children were present, and her friend Jack was also there, who was very happy to see her. However, Lara told Jack that they had to behave normally. She clearly stated that she had come to save them, so they needed to quickly come up with a plan to escape. But the most frightening thing was that the dangerous lady entered the laboratory. She was instructing her doctors to start experimenting on the children. However, as soon as the doctors saw Lara, they immediately began to seize her. They forcibly captured Lara and put her in a small cage. In the lab, the doctors were about to start some experiments, possibly to check what changes would occur in Lara's body after they killed her animal. However, before they could do anything, the dangerous lady arrived and ordered them to stop the experiment. This lady opened the chamber for the first time and saved Lara. After a while, when Lara regained consciousness, she found the same dangerous lady in front of her. The lady said, "I am your mom, and I hid all these things from you for a reason." However, the lady kept asking Lara for the golden compass, which made Lara realize that she was acting. So, Lara intentionally handed a small box to the lady, who assumed that it contained the golden compass. But Lara was very smart. Instead, a poisonous insect came out of the box, affecting the lady. Lara quickly escaped from the chamber and went to the machine that was supposed to experiment on the children. She tampered with the machine, causing it to explode shortly after. Now, Lara opened the door and was helping all the children escape. However, shortly after they began to flee, many soldiers arrived, whose job was to kidnap the children. The soldiers attacked, but just then, the bears came to the rescue, starting to attack the soldiers to protect the children. Before long, a massive battle broke out between the bears and the soldiers. The witches also arrived, shooting arrows from the sky. With the support of the witches, they managed to defeat the soldiers, and all the children were finally free. Lara was overjoyed to reunite with her friend Jack after such a long time. But her journey wasn't over yet. She needed to find her father. So she set off on a new adventure with everyone else. With this happy ending, our story comes to a close.